Hey everybody, it's Carmel. You're back in Carmel's world. I'm back. And I just wanted to say hello. It's been a minute, but I've been missing my videos. I've been going through a little something. But I'm all right now. And I just wanted to say, disclaimer before we start anything, that I'm not a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, not a sociologist. I don't have a social worker's degree. I'm just somebody who has life experience and who asks questions and who provides answers to the best of their ability based on their experience and whatever Google has to say about it, because I use Google. This is the Headscarf Chronicles. As you can see, my headscarf. I'm not wearing it though due popular demand because they said I was looking a little ghetto the last time that I had it on. The title of this installment, got my trusty dusty notebook. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading off my notes. The title of this Headscarf Chronicles installment is Disability and Happiness. Does it exist? And I will be asking questions and I will be providing answers, and then I'll get my take on it. So, I'll elaborate on the answers that, is given. So the first question, what makes disabled people happy? Now, when I Googled, because I did Google, I Googled, and I looked at some articles, I looked at some, people experiences and everything. And basically the answer to this question from their perspective was things like relationships, choice, and independence, activities, and valuable social roles make them feel satisfied with their lives. Now, my take on that is what makes disabled people happy? They pretty much is on point. um, when you have freedom to, do things as much as you can, it does give you a sense of happiness. You because being disabled, you already kind of got a setback or limitation. So when you're able to do and go outside the parameters of what people have put you as an expectation level, but when you're able to just move, to just interact with people, family members, friends, loved ones, you're able to go out into the community and just experience life on life basis, it does give you a sense of fulfillment. It does give you a sense of happiness. Just staying within your parameters, being confined to whatever, people have thought that you're supposed to be confined to, like your bed or your wheelchair or your house or whatever the case may be, that doesn't give you a sense of happiness because you're limited, you know. And so in my case, I like to get out. I like to go and I like to be out now. And, I have a sense of happiness when I do these things. It gives me a sense of fulfillment. So I do agree with the answer that I did do my research on. Next question. Can a disabled person be happy? Now, the answer to this that I did, read up on this, surveys reveal that people with disabilities consistently report a good quality of life. Now, to go on with what was said also, for people who were born with an impairment have noticed outside of living through the experiences of their non-disabled counterparts. But for the people that become disabled, it can be a whole different ball game. Only because you have experiences that you will no longer be able to experience in some cases. And the knowledge of this can send a person into a depression that's worse. There is a time of adaptation when the newly disabled person accepts their situation and starts to learn towards their strengths instead of focusing on their weaknesses. From there, there's a possibility of them getting on the road to happiness. Now, do I think all of that is true? Let me break that down. Um, if you were born with a limitation or a disability, shall we say, You can't really miss what you ain't never had, pretty much is what they're saying in the first part, because you haven't experienced it. A blind person who's never seen a flower can't really miss the colors in the flower. But if they have them described to them, and they get the idea of what it is that they can't see, they may sometimes, miss what it is they can't see or experience. A person that was born with a condition that has put them in a wheelchair or confined them to a bed, they've never walked. They've never experienced, coming out of confinement. So do they really miss what it is they never had? And the answer is yes and no, in my opinion. And I say this because you have people who live through others, their experiences. You have a good friend who will say, yeah, I went out today and I went shopping in the mall, and, me and XYZ, yeah, we went to a club and we went out to dinner, and, we did this and we did that. And, as a disabled person, they may feel like left out. They may feel like, wow, I wish I could have really experienced that, and I didn't get an opportunity to do so. So when the person who's not disabled comes back and basically explains verbatim how their night went, or how their date went, or how their dinner went, or whatever the case may be, it's not throwing it in their face per se, but it could be possibility of being, thought about in that direction. And for people like myself who weren't disabled from birth, but over time became a little disabled or a lot disabled, depending on the situation, yeah, I miss it. I'm gonna speak for myself. There's things that I do miss. There's things, I'm not limited. The only limitations that put on me are the ones that I put on myself. I've been cleared for a lot of things. I have 2 prosthetic hips. And so, I have to do certain things in certain ways so as not to pop them out of the joint. So, I can't wear heels. I miss that. Dancing and things of that nature. I miss it. I really do. I can move a little bit. I can wiggle a little bit. I ain't going to go overboard with it though. Because I have lower back pain, and that kind of prohibits me from interacting in a lot of activities that I would like to do. It, makes it hard for me to stand upright all the way. It also makes it difficult for me to walk long distances, and walking is something I love to do. Interacting with my grandchildren, being able to rough and tumble with them, squat, do all those things. It's those things I miss. Do I think I'm gonna be able to do it in the future after, my body becomes acclimated to the hips, the prosthetics? I don't know. But do I miss some things that I've already experienced that I no longer can? Absolutely. I do. But, I know there is still things I can do. So it kind of makes up for what it is I can't, or I have difficulty doing at the moment. Next question. Let me add a little bit on to that last question. Being okay in the skin. Be okay with the skin that you're in. Knowing your limitations and being okay to meet the expectation levels and sometimes exceeding those set parameters. Living outside the box one has been put in due to others' lower expectation levels that they have set on the disabled. And as I was saying, when people put you in a box and they just assume you can't because of whatever is going on with you, or they assume that, oh, she can't do that. Well, like myself, I've had people that, made me feel like, oh, you can't do this. You have limitations. You can't. Who told you I had limitations? Did you talk to my doctor lately? Did you talk to Jesus? Who told you? because I'm only limited by myself and what I know that I can't do at the moment. Yes, I have to take care to not overdo certain things, but that doesn't stop me from actually doing it. And when people put you in a box and they put a lock on it, and they assume that because you're in that box, that means that, oh, that this box is safe for you. So we're going to put you in the box and make it safer for you to be who you are. And it's like, stop locking me in that box. That box is not meant for me. You know, if you were in my shoes, you'd feel the same way that I feel. Let's go on to the next question. Can disabled people live happily after being disabled? And I think you can. It's about accepting what you are and being comfortable with what you have and doing the things or replacing one thing with another thing to still get joy out of life. And I've had to learn that. I had somebody that was teaching me that. You know, they opened me up and brought me out of my shell and showed me some things. And in doing so, it in turn helped me to realize not to limit myself, to try anyway, to make an attempt at least. Because even if you fail at it, at least you tried, and have confidence in when you do it. Now, going back to the original title, can disabled people have happiness? Yes, we can. When you have people in your life that love you, understand you, are willing to work with you, family, friends, a loved one, yes, you can. You can. You can be happy. You can. And I believe that because a lot of people who don't understand your disability or just being disabled at all, they will set a lock on you as far as limitations are concerned. Don't let them do that. Love, as I said earlier, the skin that you in. Thank God for what you're given, or spirit, or Allah, or whatever it is that you believe in. Thank that higher power for allowing you to live beyond your disability. And then work through it. Work with it. If all you can do is move your hands and move your head, figure out something to do with it. If you, like myself, have issues with walking long distance, but I can walk, I can make it further than what I thought I could when I push myself, and I do. And I'm grateful and I'm thankful that the person that showed me I could do these things showed me I could do these things by pushing me further than I probably would have pushed myself. And when you are in a disabled situation, whether you were born with it or whether you developed it over time, it can be disheartening because we look at our non-disabled counterparts and it's like, wow, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. I wish I could be more like them. I wish I could do this. Some people, honestly, I did the research on this too. Some people that have become disabled over time, that can no longer do the things that they usually do, they become depressed. And from what I'm understanding from one article, they may even become suicidal. And, you should never let yourself get to that point, or at least try to pull yourself out of that valley. Seek medical attention, counseling, do what you have to do, talk to your pastor, your rabbi, whatever. Speak to who you need to speak to. Speak to spirit, to God, to Allah, to whomever. And ask them to help you to realize that no matter what your disability is, how great or how small it is, whether it can be seen or not, I'm still here. I'm still functioning. I'm still somebody. And run with that, or walk with it, or limp with it, or roll with it, or just speak to it. But manifest, speak it into an existence. I can be better. I will do better. I know I can do this. I'm going to at least try. For the things you can do, do them. Bring some joy into your world and surround yourself with people who are supportive and who don't look at you like you're a deficit, but actually look like you're a benefit. You know, just because so and so has this going on doesn't mean that we can't go and we can't do this or we can't do that. Maybe you have to rearrange some, things when you go out places. You can't do so much of this, or maybe this right here has to be changed to something different, but you can still do it if you put your mind to it. So that's what I'm saying today. To my disabled people, to the people who aren't disabled but are watching this video, to the naysayers or the people that's just trying to figure out what this video is about, when you see one of us, smile, say hello. Even if we look like we hating the world at the moment, just say hello. You never know. You might change a whole person's perspective by just saying hi. Just give them a compliment. Don't always assume they need help, but it's nice if you try to give it. And with that said, I thank you for watching my video. I hope that I gave you something to take away from this. It probably was boring, but I apologize. They're going to get better. And comment, like, subscribe, share. Put the word out there that Miss Carmel is trying to get the disabled community, those who may be down right now, especially during this time of the year, because it's difficult this time of the year. This time of the year brings on seasonal depression. And if you are already in a disabled position, you may already have been there anyway. So I'm trying to give a little bit of information. I'm trying to provide a smile. I want you to be happy, flourish. Know that you are somebody and you are loved. My God loves you. I love you. And at some point, look in the mirror and love yourself. No matter what it is, love yourself. Because somebody didn't wake up on this side of the rainbow today, and you still here to tell the story. So God He not done with you yet. Disabled or not, He could still use you. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, how can you tell somebody else about your how can I put it? How can you tell somebody else about the story of how you made it over if you don't understand why you made it over? Because you were never put in a position to want to try to make it over something, or try to, succeed at something, or make an attempt to do something that maybe the next person thought you couldn't do. Maybe you didn't even think you could do it. But I love you once again. And you could have looked at anybody's video. You could have looked at the one before me. You could have looked at the one underneath mine, but you chose to look at mine. And you stayed here and you listened to me rant. You listened to me talk, and I'm grateful for that. And if you have a comment or you have a topic that you want me to expound on, down in the comments because I read them. Put a heart. Let me know that you at least made it through this video and that something in here you liked. So leave a heart. Leave prayer hands that you're praying for me because I'm praying for you. And what can I say? Carmel's World, thank you, tribe, for watching. And I'm out.